Hello, you lovely people. It's Graham Cofe with another My Music, the first one of this week. I shall be speaking to the wonderful Lyra any minute now, but first we shall partake in this video, which has come all the way from the wonderful world of analog trash. Please do enjoy it, and if you like it, go to their website. Hello, as I said today, I'm joined by the wonderful Lyra. Now, please do introduce yourselves. Say hello to the nation.
Hello, I'm Jenna. This is James, and we're part of Lyra.
You are. And how many in total are there of you?
Oh, there are 5 now, yes.
Yeah, because it seems to have gone this way, then that way, then, you know. How long did it take to settle on the 5 that you currently have?
About 7 years.
Yeah. Give or take.
Yeah, we've gone through a few members in the past, not because they hate us and we're terrible, but because hopefully, but because obviously, yeah, with musicians they go off and do other things, leave the country, do something else. So yeah, we've been through a few, but we've been solid few members now for a few years, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. Right, that's brilliant. Well, how did you first start? How did the group first start getting together? How did that happen?
So it started at uni at BIM in London and Fulham, where we all met. We graduated there in 2016, and for about a year before that, so maybe I'd say 2015 it started, maybe
somewhere around there.
Yeah, we got together because obviously we had to make a band, and then we just kind of stuck together, didn't we?
Because you had to make a band, right?
We had to, yeah, and
compulsory.
Then yeah.
It was part of the course. Of course.
Yeah, I was like, all right then, if I have to. And then we've stayed together ever since, the solid members anyway, the foundations, and then like I said, we've had a few here and there, but we're strong now.
Yeah. Did you all go back do the alumni thing at the same time? Did you all go back and get your degrees at the same time, or were you all doing different types of degrees?
Well, most of us did. James never went to his graduation, did you?
I didn't.
You missed that one.
I was too cool for the graduation.
Yeah.
Not being funny, mate, but they're so boring, aren't they? Graduation ceremonies.
No, exactly.
They're wonderful things. Wonderful.
Yeah, but you need that picture with the hat. You know, it's all about the picture.
You do, yeah. Can you remember who did the speech in your one?
Oh no, I don't know.
Did you have you didn't have a famous person getting an honorary degree?
No, we weren't that lucky. It was actually pretty boring, but you know, got the photo.
Yeah, and what actually started you two? Because I've got you two here. Where did music start for both of you?
Well, for me, I mean, my mom did a bit of singing when she was younger and was on the radio. She goes on about it all the time.
Can we ask what was she doing?
Oh, it was, you know, like typical 80s band where it was like a male and a female singer. So she wasn't technically a backing singer because she did do most of the lines in the female octave. But they did have an album, and she was on her.
We need a name. We need a name, you know.
She's going to kill me. I don't remember. I don't remember. She's played the tape like maybe once in my life when she dug it out the attic.
That dates it, doesn't it? Tape. It was on tape.
Yeah, exactly. So that was, I guess it was drilled into me from my mom, and on my dad's side, my granddad's a musician. He plays every instrument, so he would buy me my first keyboard and violin at like the age of 5 or whatever. So it was pretty much drilled into me, and I just loved it. And yeah, what about you?
For me, it was kind of a similar story actually. I grew up around music.
Your mum was a famous singer in a band.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't famous. She likes to think she was.
Right.
My dad played guitar, piano, every instrument under the sun when he was younger. He used to go and tour around France and other countries in Europe.
Wow.
And my brother played a bit of guitar as well. And so just being surrounded by that, I of course picked up the guitar every now and then and got really into it. And I started playing in metal bands to begin with, like rock and metal. So
I knocked that out of him.
All 14, 15-year-old boys do.
Right.
Right.
My hair was down here, dyed blonde.
It was lovely.
It's basically the hormones kick in. You hate the world. You've got to make that kind of music, and it's got to be loud.
Sometimes now.
No, I knock it out of him. God.
Yeah, I love it. So, did you either of you struggle at all with learning anything musically, or has there been anything along the way that you found particularly difficult?
I mean, I found music theory difficult when I went into my when I went into my degree. I was like, I'm just going to sing. It's going to be great. And then we had to do theory, and I was like, what? And I hadn't done it before until I started uni, so I found that hard. But I did enjoy it in the end. For me, I think that, and probably the songwriting aspect. Again, I just wanted to be a Beyonce, and I just wanted to go and perform, and I didn't want to write music. I just wanted to sing it. And then I realized, oh no, I've got to write music. So I found that really, really hard and really awkward and embarrassing to release your personal lyrics that were very basic out into the world at the beginning. But then that's when the band helps and you collaborate, I found. So
yeah.
For me, it was probably the performance aspect, because I found the playing part fairly straightforward and the writing part I loved. But whenever it came to performing live, if I saw a video of myself afterwards, I'd be kind of staring at the ground, mouth half open, dribble coming down my face.
I don't think it was that bad, but he would be looking up as if he's looking up for the notes.
So I'm still trying to work on that now. We're getting there.
Yeah.
It's a funny old game, isn't it? I mean, I started life as a singer and took to that like a duck to water. Okay, I mean, I'm a natural show off, so I didn't really find that particularly difficult. Once I started a band later on where I had to play guitar, that was hard. It's kind of, for me, it was kind of the nerves of. It doesn't matter how many times you've rehearsed it or whatever. It's like, I'm going to forget the chords. I'm going to forget. My fingers are completely going to forget what I'm playing here. And I'm just going to go there, and it's kind of, the singer's going to have like nothing behind them in a minute. Never happened, but it was a nerve-wracking experience, whereas vocals, even if you're having a bad time with your voice or whatever, you kind of know how to keep it in check and whatever. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen regardless. And besides which, you can just go for the big performance and it'll all be okay. But playing instruments is a tricky one. That's why I'd never do drums, because I'm rubbish.
Well, Jenna's really good at making up lyrics on the spot on stage.
I do it all the time.
It's the best way. It's the best way. I don't know what
I said. That's the thing. I couldn't tell you what I said, but I know it wasn't the lyrics. So I probably did a load of words that make no sense, but at least something's coming out, right? It could be words. I could just be like, oh, forgotten, sorry.
Well, I was always really bad at forgetting my own lyrics, really bad at that, I must admit. And then I got, it was like years later when I saw Paul Heaton actually using a, well, to begin with, he actually stood there with a music stand with the words on, and now he has a teleprompter sometimes. I thought, that's brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? There you go. So listen, in terms of when you started putting the band together, when you started putting the group together, were you always kind of looking for that soul stroke dancey kind of crossover? And why? What was it you were listening to, perhaps, or what collectively were you listening to that kind of made you go that direction?
Well, it kind of started for me. It was me and Paige who's kind of started Lyra. She was our old drummer. We actually still do some function stuff with her now, which is nice. But she had to do other things with her career. But anyway, we started it, and I was very much into soul music, Motown, probably Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, a bit of Beyonce, a bit of all of this kind of stuff that I was heavily influenced by. And then Paige was a bit more neo soul. So I guess the two of us, when we came together, had a bit of a crossover from a little bit of pop, soul, neo soul. And we actually used to have a just a bass player, and we'd just get another girl who triggered like synths. We were never going to have a guitarist, and then we suddenly thought, no, we're missing something. So I think I turned around to you in class one day, didn't I, knowing that he was like a bit more rocky, and I was like, James, do you want to join our band? Didn't I? Was it in class or was it somewhere else? It was something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And I kind of am very forward, and then James was like, all right.
I was too scared to say no.
He dared say no, yeah.
He was very loud mouthed in class at uni, so I didn't want to get on with it.
It's quite embarrassing. So yeah, and then obviously bringing James into the mix, he was, you know, a bit more rock, had a bit of metal behind him. So
yeah, I had very minimal experience playing the kind of music that you guys were playing, so it was a big learning curve for me. But I think it kind of worked well because we almost blended the styles together.
Yeah.
Between what I like
and then create something a little bit different, which is what you want, right? So we have now.
What is it you're bringing to it, James? Is it kind of more of that kind of, you know, because there's some quite nice kind of rhythmic-y bits on the guitar in there. Is you kind of try and underpin it a bit more, so it's not just all kind of, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You get a lot of kind of. I try and add a bit more lead guitar in there just to keep it interesting and fresh. I don't know, really. What do I do?
Well, no, you do like. I would say like more funky aspects, and then obviously in quite a few of the songs we'll have like a big heavy guitar solo part, which can make it a little bit, just a touch rocky, which makes it, I suppose, a bit more interesting and a bit more energetic. Whereas before it was quite laid back, really. I think that's what it brings to it, which is good, because now we've got this kind of crossover where we're kind of going a little bit more poppy as well, and R&B, which is good. It's what gets people dancing and stuff, and we've had really good feedback from our newer stuff. So yeah, I think just the blend, really, that's how it's kind of taken on this journey, with everybody's inspirations kind of coming together and creating something new.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite dancing. I mean, is that something you're going to try and push towards? I mean, I always think it's a great idea if you can make people shuffle in front of you. That's great, isn't it? I mean, you know, otherwise they're stood there.
Yeah, just like to the mellow
at a gig, you know.
That's the issue we had. We played so many live shows, and we were always kind of wanting that upbeat song.
Yeah.
Because we had so many slow, kind of laid back songs at the time, and then once we put in a couple of higher tempo ones in there, it was great. I
couldn't believe it when I saw people dancing.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, at one point in one of the gigs when they were dancing, they were singing our lyrics back to us, and then James started doing this guitar solo, and these people were like, come off stage, come with us. I mean, I nearly jumped off stage and started dancing with them, and I thought, okay, calm down, we're not there yet, but I was that close.
But has that inspired you in a way? That's kind of like motivated you towards perhaps taking it a little bit more that way, so that actually,
definitely, it just helps in so many aspects, even the performance, because it's quite mellow music, you can't really dance and groove to it too much, so I would kind of be stood there swaying, and then you'd look back at the videos and the performance would look a bit boring. So now with the more upbeat music, I want to move more, and I am, and then I guess that helps the audience, and then it just vibes more, I think. So
well, I think everybody wants to, you know, when they go out, they want to go out for a good evening, don't they, ultimately? And I think, you know, if a band in front of them can offer them kind of that journey musically, so it's not all one thing, but it's you know, there's some energy there, and then maybe it dips back down. It gives everybody a natural rest at that point in the evening. It's like a finish on a high. That's what everybody wants. You know? Ultimately, unless you're going to a sit-down concert, but that's completely different. You know, and sometimes I think in all honesty, with some musicians, because of the music that they play, you think actually you do want your audience sat down because you know it's not that it's bad. It's just it's the kind of music that you want to sit and listen to, right? But and therefore it's quite difficult to stand there for 2 hours not doing anything. You know, well, I find it hard to stand there for 2 hours not doing anything. Maybe, you know, that's kind of a slight ADHD issue. But you know, I just feel that if you can create that kind of start, finish, you know, energy, a little bit of a rest, whatever, then you know that really helps. Etc. So, is there anything that you're collectively listening to at the moment as a group that you're going, that's pretty cool? Maybe we could go a little bit like that, or
I mean, I think, well, it's hard with all 5 members. I mean, just yesterday EJ, our keyboard player, was playing us lots of back to kind of neo soul stuff, which is good. There's some really nice elements in there.
Bass player called Mono Neon, I think that's how you pronounce it, Mono Neon, who like wears these crazy neon clothes and has a sock on the end of his bass guitar.
So there's that, and then he was talking about maybe looking at some Tom Misch covers again, which is what we started being inspired by, which is interesting. So we're always looking for some other things to add back in, but we're quite keen on like Lily Moore, Olivia Dean, so they're like still soulful pop artists. So I think we're still going to carry on with that route, but we always have to remind ourselves when we're doing a poppy song like the one we're currently recording called Medusa, it's going very pop, very catchy. We've had really good feedback performing it live of everyone saying it's their favorite song, but in the recording process we're like, okay, we need to get some like soulful drums or something back in it because we've got to keep the roots so it doesn't get too confusing. But obviously we're always progressing in different directions, but we need to keep the roots there as well.
But then again, with the way that music is these days, I guess one of the things you can do is you can, once you've created the original version of the song as well, is that you can always put it out there and maybe see if you can get some DJ mixes of it or whatever, or, you know, see whether it could go in a different direction. Because I always think that's quite, with your kind of band, I think that's a great way to evolve. I'm going to go and see Lowe's on Friday. I don't know whether you've heard of them, but you know, the lead singer was at the Radio 1 big weekend at the weekend doing some stuff with a DJ, right? Nice. Fairly famous DJ. You just go and have a look at their profile. You can see what I'm talking about. But obviously that's kind of, you know, even more dancey than their dancey, you know, but I think that's quite good to experiment with the mix, maybe, and just see where that can take it as well. Do you agree?
Definitely. Yeah, we've been looking into that. I was actually speaking to somebody about it last week about putting us in touch with some DJs to do a remix kind of thing with one of our songs and collaborate with a DJ. I think that's a really good step to take. So we are currently looking into that.
Yeah, because I think that way,
someone else's perspective on the song.
Yeah,
because we always come at it from our point of view, but to hear what someone else would do with that is kind of inspiring. You might learn something from that with the next song that you write.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, it's, to me, that it's almost like it's a great way to experiment with your sound without it costing a huge amount of money. Whereas if you end up going to the studio and then saying to an engineer, what could we do with this?
Yeah,
you know, you could spend ages playing around with it and then go, oh yeah, but it's not really true to what we wanted it to be, etc. And then you end up recording it the way that you wanted to record it in the first place. But actually just kind of letting the stems go to somebody and go, well, you know, show us what you would do with that, and then it coming back that way, you're getting this kind of, you know, color photocopy of your black and white, and it's like, oh, hello. I didn't realize that if we put like a jungle break in the middle of it there, that sounds like that. Wow, that's fantastic. Maybe that's always a good way to go.
We nearly did that with Lost, actually.
You know? There you go.
No.
Can tell I've produced music in the past. Anyway, yes. So what's the future hold for Lyra? What's the big ambition? Where's where's 2023 taking you?
Well, actually, we've put a lot more time and effort and thought into our socials at the moment, because that's just everything at the moment. It's we want the bigger, the better gigs, and the thing that's letting us down is the following and things like that. And we've got great content, and we've got loads of new songs and all this stuff, but it's the thing that we're lacking is getting it out to a wider audience. So we've been putting a lot of time and effort into that at the moment. So we're hoping with that, we'll just keep going, bigger gigs, bigger festivals.
Getting a support slot. On
We
the
would,
tour,
yeah, that's our biggest ambition for this year, is to get a support act with a bigger artist and just really branch out. I mean, we want Lyra to be obviously the main thing for us that we do, our main job, our passion, our everything. So we're just really putting lots of effort in to try and make that happen, really.
You've got to do it. It's important. It's part and parcel of the process. I know I know how much hard work that is. I run a social media marketing business, so there you go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, we'll have a chat later.
I do this for other people all day long. So yeah, no, it's hard work, but you've got to do it to kind of get you up to there and make sure people will say, who would be then that dream support slot? You know, if you're the support slot, who would be that artist that you would love to do the support slot for?
I think it would be the two artists we mentioned earlier, Olivia Dean or Lily Moore.
If we're talking artists that are kind of potentially in reach within the next couple of years, then yeah, Lily Moore would be one for me.
And mine would be Olivia Dean. Yeah, I think so.
I'm writing them down so that I can tag them in to make it happen.
Ooh,
that'd be awesome.
That would be amazing.
Lily Moore's just about to go on tour, actually. So.
We've booked tickets to see her.
There you go.
Be on the stage with her, but I'll settle for watching.
How many of you have got the tickets? All 5 of you?
No, just me and James bought some tickets.
You should have, all 5 of you should have got the tickets, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you could have painted yourselves neon and stood there in front of the stage, you know, with a massive banner saying, "We're your support slot."
Yeah.
You know, it's not a bad idea, is it?
Exactly.
You know, you gotta. Well, it's a bit like I've got some of the biggest people. Here's letting people know the secrets behind the scenes here. Some of the biggest people that I've got on this show. Do you know how I've done it? I've literally on their socials, I've put a not DM'd them, but in their in the middle of comments, I've just gone, "You're coming to do an interview." And then they're like,
demand,
whether you like it or not.
And then, you know, and then when someone else has commented going, "Yeah, that would be good," it would be like, they want you to come and do an interview too.
Yeah.
Come on. You know? And then I've harassed them and their management. And finally they've done it. But that's the point, isn't it? You know, unless you ask, you don't get.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's my motto.
So all 5 of you at Lily Moore's gig.
Yeah.
Fluorescent, big banner. And you know, and if she does a live video, you'll be there. It's just like that.
Good idea. Yeah.
Just make it happen. Yeah. In fact, what you should also do is you should print some Lily Moore merchandise, but with your name as the support band. Just there. And then do some TikToks going, look, oh yeah, we've got the official Lily Moore, the official unofficial Lily Moore t-shirt with us as the support band, you know.
Hopefully we don't get a restraining order out.
Yeah. Well, you'll either get a restraining order or the support slot.
Yeah.
You know, one of two things could happen.
It's a risk
there.
that we're willing to take.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you. So for people that have never ever heard of you before, because there may still be some people out there that haven't.
It's a big world.
Yeah,
it's a massive world. Do tell people where they should go to pick up on your music.
Yeah, so the easiest way is just the website, which is lyraofficial.co.uk. and all the socials are linked there, but most of them are under Lyra Official UK anyway.
LyraOfficial.co.uk. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help in this. So here we are. By the magic of Grayskull, you're probably both too young to understand what I'm talking about there. There we go. LyraOfficial.co.uk. There's the website there. Look at that. Technology at its best. Do visit that website. It's going to be streaming across your monitors over the next few days as you rewatch this, or as you watch this on Spotify. Hello, everyone at Spotify. That website down there, that's where you have to go. Check it out. It's got music and stuff and videos, like the last song, which was absolutely fantastic. Tell everybody about it.
Lost. So go on then, James.
No, the last song. No, I can't. Lost. Yeah, that's right.
So Lost was a night.
Where was that? Where was it filmed?
Oh, we filmed that. We did it ourselves in Shoreditch.
I thought it was Shoreditch. Yeah.
Lots of graffiti. Very
edgy. Best face to do music video. We just did it ourselves so that we got something to put out there, which was quite good in the end, actually. Really good music video. It was a fun day. Lost, however, that song nearly went in the bin about 8 times.
Really?
So I'm glad I finally made it. Yeah, that one. Oh, that made me quit music nearly. No, I'm joking. It was just one of the hardest songs. I don't know why, but we have got something like 8 different choruses, and I mean lyrics and melody for that song, 2 different verses, 4 different bridges, 2 different guitar solos. And in the end, we were like, is this even the same song? Like, it took so many different directions. And like James said at one point, James even started doing like a drum and bass remix for it. And he was like, right, this is too far. We need to just stop for a bit.
Well, they do say sometimes that things that, you know, are the hardest to be birthed are you know, the best. So that's you know, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But you know, similarly, you can sit down, 5 minutes, set of chords.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
Ed Sheeran. It's always the same 4 chords, as he's now told everybody, and there you go. You know,
exactly, definitely, varies, but we're very proud of it in the end because we put so much effort and time and nearly scrapped it, and it's actually we think it's a great song. We've had lots of people say the same thing. It's very catchy, so I think we went with the right decision in the end.
Yeah, and what you should do for that song, seeing as it's Shoreditch, is you should go onto Google Maps, right? And you know you can actually leave like little reviews for places on Google Maps. Yeah, should actually So that's what you should do. So you should take some photos from some stills from the video, and where you're at a particular place, you should leave the video clips or the photos with like a review of all of those places, so that when people scan over Shoreditch or whatever, they find your video.
This is great. This is a good idea. You should be.
Wouldn't that be great?
Really good idea.
Isn't it? Yeah. There we are. Oh look, I'm on short. Oh look, there's a video here. And Google ranks it for you as well. It's even better. I've got a photo from Exeter University. Hi, folks, where I did something at Exeter University. I think it's up to about 10,000 views now.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah,
okay, well,
it's like
today.
And every now and again, the phone beeps at me and goes, "Your picture at Exeter University is really popular." I know. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
There you go. You're getting all the tips today, folks, on how to get your social media up to scratch and your brand out there, whoever you are. But yeah, we are going to do that. We're going to make sure Olivia Dean, Lily Moore, both tagged into this. You will be headlining. You will be the support act. Maybe you'll be headlining because you might be even more popular. You might be headlining or the support act for either of those artists next year. If that happens, thank me. If it doesn't happen, it was somebody else's idea. Right. If you've enjoyed this today, this has been my music. I'm back later at 1 o'clock when I'm going to be talking to Beth McCarthy, who's doing ever so well on the likes of TikTok. I think she's up to about 436,000 followers now on TikTok. Well, maybe I'll ask her for some ideas as to how to get really good on TikTok. Until then, this has been the wonderful Lyra. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
And do share this if you like this with all of your friends. Not for me, because I don't want to be famous, but these people need your help and support. Please do that. And we will see you again next time. Bye for now.